Hello YouTubers, my name is Amber. I hope you're enjoying a fantastic Friday and that you're getting ready for an exciting weekend with your family and friends. The rodeo is in town for us. We just gotta get rid of this rain. I'm so over it. I cannot wait till it is hot and sunny because it's just, I'd much rather deal with that than this gray weather because I'm over it, so over it. So on a happy note, I would like to welcome you to my seasonal vanity tour. Excuse me. I love making videos like this because I think it serves a couple of purposes. It gives you a sneak peek into my collection, but it also breaks it down in a very concise way where you see what I'm using, what I'm loving, what I'm panning. Perhaps it will inspire you to go into your collection and rediscover some favorites, or maybe find some things that you own and use them in ways that you may not have tried before and you end up loving. So I like to, share, keep the good information coming because we're all about using our makeup in the panning community and enjoying it, making lots of friends in the process. So I also thought it was pertinent because I put up a hashtag, OMG, Deep Purple is a beast. I will leave it right here because I'm in the process of panning Deep Purple from the Lorac Pro palette for my Pan That Palette Challenge. And that color is, black eyeshadow is easier than Deep Purple. I mean, just Deep Purple it has a black base and then the purple shimmer. And so it is so overpowering to work with. So I'm working with different products in my collection to see my favorite way to wear it. If you have ideas and you have an Instagram feed, Twitter feeds, go on and use the hashtag OMG Deep Purple is a beast because I would love to see your favorite products to use Deep Purple with, especially if you're using it in other ways other than liner, because that shadow is just taking a long time to get through. But the way I have it on is the way I'll show you via my vanity tour. I'm wearing it on my lids, layered with a bright purple shade. I also have it in my crease and I've lined my lower lash line with it. So it has helped me to get through the shadow quite a bit faster than just using it as a liner, but still, I mean, the fallout is crazy, the intensity is crazy. It's just, I had no idea what I was getting myself into when I started panning Deep Purple, and now I'm so glad that I'm knocking it out at the beginning of the year rather than waiting till the end, because that brick wall central with that color. So on that note, here we go with what I'm wearing with Deep Purple. I'll show you the lip products, face products, palettes, and all that thing. Perhaps give you some new ideas for some storage too. So here it goes. All right, as we get into the vanity tour, I wanted to just give you an overview of the top of my vanity. I have my palette storage over here. Going in, you see my big mirror, my beauty blender, my soap dish. I usually keep my phone. I wash my hands immediately after I'm done with my makeup. And then here is going to be the vanity drawer. So very quickly, I'm going to kind of run through the tips and tricks that I use for the top of my vanity, and then we'll get into what's actually in the drawer. All right, the first thing I thought was super important to share because these are both very inexpensive items, and I have found the utility of these absolutely essential to my daily routine. I picked up these two particular dishes at Target. One is a spoon rest. This happens to be an acrylic spoon rest. You'll find them in the section near the pots and pans of your local Target store because I wanted an open air container for me to house my beauty blender. I don't like to leave it on the counter, but after you wash it and sanitize it, you really need to let it air dry. And this gives me an easy place to let it dry or sit after I'm done with my makeup. And I wanted it in acrylic because, as you can see, it is dirty and I can pop this into the dishwasher, so then it's clean and sanitized on a regular basis. So if you're wanting an idea to house your beauty blender, get something open like a spoon rest. And again, these are really inexpensive. I went with this acrylic one because I thought it'd be easy, would match with anything, no matter what I decided to do with my bathroom. And then I've been using the sample size of the Beauty Blender cleansing bar, but it really annoyed me that this bar of soap did not come with any type of case. And I didn't want to put it in a traditional soap dish because all of the ridges would actually ruin the soap. So I went back to Target and I started looking around the bathroom section, and I found this sweet little round soap dish. I believe it was only a couple of dollars, but it's been perfect because then I'm not leaving my soap on the counter. It gives me an easy surface to run my beauty blender over the top of the soap, so then I wear it down evenly because I just run my bar across like this and like that and around, and then I go through and I squeeze it and get all the makeup out in under the faucet, reapply as needed, and then I'm not going through near as much soap as you would if you're trying to rub your beauty blender with the actual bar of soap. So wanted to share those 2 tips with you if you're looking for some new ideas with your beauty blender. And I believe I was asked about this months and months ago about showing how I clean my beauty blender and sanitize. It's Tati's method of washing and then popping it in the microwave for about 10 seconds. I mean, I break it up into about 3-second increments because this sucker gets really, really hot. But if you keep it in a container of water and then do it for about 10 seconds, it will zap all the bacteria out, let it cool down, go through and wash it, and then you're good to go. So just to share that. But again, it was one of Tati's tips that she did eons and eons ago for sanitizing these beauty sponges. And then they'll last you the 3 months. So all right, the next thing I wanted to talk about is my mirror setup here, and I showed a picture of this on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, but if you're looking for a really inexpensive vanity option, this has been fabulous. I went to Hobby Lobby. This entire setup cost me less than $10 with coupons. All I did was I took a large mirror that you set candles on top of. I don't remember, it's like I don't remember what it was called, but you set like big candles on top, and as you can see, I need to clean this, but, and then I bought an inexpensive plate or photo frame stand. It looks like this across the back. Like I said, this was less than $10, and it functions so much better for me than, say, my old Conair mirror, which was actually, it was one of those big oval ones, but still, it was a little bit narrower than I like to have. And now I've got this huge surface that I can put right up here. Since I wear glasses, it makes it a little bit easier to see. And then I have my large mirror on top. But if you're looking for a new vanity storage idea, it's great because when you're putting on your actual makeup, you can angle the mirror up and down to apply your mascara, apply your eyeliner, and different things. So you can change the angle just by holding it and still have that big surface to work with. All right, and then lastly, I wanted to talk about this little letter storage that I also found at Hobby Lobby in the office supply section. This, I really wanted a way when I started my Pan That Palette Challenge for Lorac Pro this year to give myself something convenient because the drawer was too narrow to start fitting the Mega Pro palette, my big palette, my Pro and Pro 2 palettes, and then I also wanted something to display my naked palette from panning last year. So this has been great, also an inexpensive addition. And if you're just starting Pan That Palette or you're starting your project pan in general, I know one of the things that I had to push through mentally was being okay with opening up multiple palettes. Like before, it just annoyed me to have to bring out multiple palettes. Having storage like this where it's right there where you see it every day when you put on your makeup, you realize that you have everything all in one place, will help get over that stumbling block of being annoyed having to open up multiple palettes. So, you know, just to kind of give you another tip and trick, because, you know, I go into my Mega Pro palette in the morning to fill in my brows, and then I use this palette to cover blush and eyeshadow looks and more, and then I go through with my Lorac Pro palette, you know, and so like I said, it was one of those things that I really needed to get over the hurdle as I panned my naked palette, because once I started running out of shades, I really had to get comfortable bringing in other palettes. So if that's something that you're currently working on, get yourself one of these letter carriers, whether you buy it at Target, Walmart, Hobby Lobby, eBay, you name it. You can buy all shapes, all styles, all colors, all, you know, formulations. These are excellent to keep on your vanity so that everything is in one place, on hand, and convenient for you. All right, now as we get into the drawer, there are some things that I have changed from the last time I did a seasonal vanity tour, but you are going to see some repeats. This is my brush roll that I use on a daily basis. I got it from an Etsy shop called A Soft Black Star. I will link her in the description box below. I have talked about this before, but I personally do not like storing my brushes on my counter because I have dogs and small children. I like the brush roll because I can pop this into the washing machine once a week when I clean my brushes. Everything stays a little bit more sanitary instead of constantly getting covered in dog hair and grime from around my bathroom. So just a tip if you're in that same boat with me, and then it gives you a little bit more streamlined storage on top of your vanity. And then back here, when everybody started coming on with the tip of using the hair donuts to clean their brushes, I personally had one of these hot buns doodads that my hair is too short to wear right now, and so I unhooked it, and I use this for quick cleaning my brushes if I want to change color, since I'm trying to find different ways to wear deep purple. So if you have one of these hot buns thing, you already have an instant fix where you just swipe your brushes on it to clean off shadows really fast, and then it kind of gives you a quick way without having to deep wash your brushes all the time. So, and then I use this, whereas before it was just sitting in my little hair storage cabinet. So, and then I've got 2 extra brushes back here. I wanted to have a stippling brush because, you know, now that I've reincorporated high beam, I was curious if I wanted a stippling brush, so I bought this months and months ago, but haven't busted it out yet because I like the Beauty Blender. And then I also purchased this angled contour brush a few months ago because I thought using shades like Espresso and things from the Lorac Pro palette that this would be helpful to help blend them out a little bit more, but I just haven't busted into these. So, and then getting into the actual storage, I found these 2 acrylic containers at Target in the home organization section. This is a 3-tray organizer that I use for lip and eye products. And then this one has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 compartments. There's 2 at the back, this long tray right here, and the 3 in front. And it just makes my makeup storage so easy in this standard size drawer. So let's get into it. What I have back here is my rubbing alcohol. I use this to sanitize all of my makeup. And this was just a little Up and Up travel bottle spray. I use 91%, and after I'm done with my makeup, each application, just a couple quick spritzes on eyeshadows, blush, you name it, and it makes it nice and sanitized. I've had to throw away 2 collections from bacterial breakdown, so I'm pretty OCD about using this. I also have extra eyeliners back there that I wanted to pan along with the Lorac Pro palette throughout this year. I pulled out a bunch of my Revlon lip glosses. I am not currently using these. They're just back there again to use later on with the Lorac Pro. But the stuff that I am using, I've got the NYX Photogenique Primer right here, a bottle of the CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous Foundation. Love this, holy grail status. I kept my Too Faced Naked Eye palette in here because when I finish black out of the Pro palette, I think I might go back to using Stiletto out of here. I'll show you real quick because I was panning this along with my Naked palette last year. So that's about where I have left in here. And I also thought about trying Lap Dance with Deep Purple and Satin Sheets as well. So wanted to keep this in rotation, not forget about it. And then over here, as far as bronzer, I've got Benefits Hoola. This is going to be the next face powder that I use when I finish my CoverGirl powder. This is the CoverGirl Ready Set Gorgeous face powder in Creamy Natural. And then I've got my MAC Archie Girls Veronica's Blush. See if I can open this one-handed. I wanted to use this as a highlight with Deep Purple since it's got that baby pink tone and hot pink. So I've been working with that again. I've got my everyday powder. This is the CoverGirl Olay Advanced Radiance with Olay face powder in Creamy Natural. Then I have one of my Holy Grail bronzers, the Sonia Kashuk Undetectable Cream Bronzer in Warm Tan. I absolutely love this product. And then I also wanted more of a champagne highlight, so I brought out my sample size of Lorac Spotlight, but I haven't really been loving it with Deep Purple. So I'm going to try it with other looks with the Pro palette. And then over here, I've got my Sephora sharpener. If you want a really nice sharpener for your NYX Jumbo eyeshadow pencils, I have been pleased with the sharpener. My Revlon one finally gave out, so I brought this one out of my collection. I have been loving it. And then I also have what's left of my Benefits High Beam. I like putting this on top of my foundation before I set with my powder to match with Deep Purple. And then I also have a Benefit Erase Paste, and this is in shade 1. So it's a nice salmon-y colored concealer. It's kind of intensely creamy, and I don't know, it's a little too thick for me right now, but I wanted to keep it in rotation just in case. And then I've got a couple of options that I like to layer with Deep Purple in this tin. The first one is this NYX eyeshadow in the shade Harlequin. It's just a bright bluish purpley pink. Looks like this. I also have the Urban Decay version. I don't remember exactly what the name of it is, but it's in my everyday palette on the top of my vanity. You'll see in a bit. But this one, the NYX Harlequin, is the exact dupe, and I really have been loving it with Deep Purple. It is what I'm currently wearing on my lids over Deep Purple today. So there's NYX Harlequin. I also wanted to pull out my L'Oreal Infallible Shadow in with a twist. This is really pretty, layered on top of Deep Purple if you want to wear it on your lids. And then I've got this NYX color I wanted to bring out. This is in Underneath It All. It's just a matte brown purple, or not matte brown purple, matte brown, because I wanted something to fill in my brows after I'm done with taupes. So I brought this out. And then I have not been wearing this, but I kept it in here. This is a Bobbi Brown Longwear Gel Eyeliner in Black Mauve Shimmer Ink. This, if you want to wear a really neutral eyeshadow from your Lorac Pro palette, this would make a lovely eyeliner. Set it with Deep Purple because it does have very intense purpley, brownish gray tones to it, even though it is very dark. And will still make your eyes stand out as traditional eyeliners. So otherwise I would open it, but trying to do it one-handed is pretty tough. Then I've got the liner I'm currently panning right now. This is the NYX eyeliner in Purple Violet. I wear this on my lower lash line. And then I've got my Maybelline Instant Age Rewind Eraser Concealer for Dark Circles and Brightener. That is Holy Grail status for me. My NYX Wonder Pencil. I wear this every day on my waterline to brighten up under my frames. And then I've got the Wet n Wild Fergie Take on the Day eyeshadow primer. A little primer that could, but it's awesome stuff. And then when I finally finish the Wet n Wild, I'm going to be using my Lorac Behind the Scenes eye primer sample that I received when I purchased my Lorac Pro 2 palette. So pretty excited when I get to start using that. And then this is the EOS Lip Balm in Orange Blossom. I love orange flavored things, so this is a treat for me to apply, you know, just as I'm doing my makeup or at night, but I have not made a lot of progress in this. And then as far as lip products in the front, this is a pretty interesting way to do it, and that way you see kind of what I'm pulling with Deep Purple. For my high-end lipsticks, I pulled out Russian Red from MAC. Just really pretty matte red. I also have Nouvelle Vogue. It's a bright springy pink color. I have my Makeup Forever clear lip liner just to give me something easy. And then I've got a Makeup Forever shade. It's just a everyday Marsala color. It's one of those sample sizes I got eons ago. And then I've got a Buxom shade in Hooligan. It's also a Marsala pinky brown. Then to what I'm really working hard on panning, my drugstore options, I've got my Revlon Kissable Balm Stain in Darling. I'm trying to finish this by Cinco de Mayo. I'm doing pretty well, so I've been loving that every day. On top of it, I pair it with the Revlon Super Lustrous Gloss in Sugar. All right, back to it. Sorry, my camera cut off, but I've been topping the Darling Kissable Balm Stain with this Revlon Super Lustrous Gloss in Sugar Violet. You can find this currently at drugstores. I absolutely love this gloss. I'm currently wearing it. And then I wanted some matte options, so I pulled out Maybelline Matte Lipstick in Lust for Blush. It's a really pretty everyday pink. I love this with deep purple. I also brought out Touch of Spice. Everybody's talking about this. It's perfect for the Marsala trends. When I wear Touch of Spice, I like to wear the Revlon Super Lustrous Gloss in Rosy Future. Yes, Rosy Future. Again, you can find this at your local drugstores if you are inclined to pick it up. And then I also brought out the Maybelline Matte Lipstick in Mesmerizing Magenta. I wanted a really matte fuchsia option when I want to wear a bright lipstick. And then my favorite drugstore brand is Revlon, so I had to bust out 2 of those. I brought out Revlon's Super Lustrous Lipstick in Sassy Mauve. This is the drugstore option to Max Syrup if you want a drugstore alternative. Perfect for this Marsala trend. And then I also pulled out Revlon Super Lustrous Lipstick in Mauve Night just to give kind of a more brownie, purpley toned with deep purple. And then in this last container over here, I consider this to be pretty fun because it's got my eye bases. I've got a Revlon lash curler in, it's got the quilted pattern. I have no idea which one this was, but it's Revlon. And then I'm using the L'Oreal Butterfly Intenza mascara. I just started using this today. It smells like the typical L'Oreal mascara. I'm not really sure how I feel about it, but both my other mascaras completely dried out. So here we are. And then I've got the rest of my eyeshadow bases in here. I have my NYX Jumbo Eyeshadow Pencil in Milk. I use this to highlight the inner portion of my eye and my brow bone under my frames. And then I layer my highlighting shades on top of it. Holy Grail status. And then I wanted to bring out my Laura Mercier Caviar Stick sample in the shade Amethyst to try under deep purple. It's a little bit dark, but I pulled it out just in case if I want to change it up. And then the bases, I've really been loving this Benefit Creaseless Cream Shadow in Always a Bridesmaid. It's a really bright lilac-y purple. Love this. If you want the Maybelline Color Tattoo version, you're going to want to pull out the limited edition shade in Lavish Lavender. Literally, they are just about the same thing. So I'll go through that in a Shop That Stash when I do a Get Ready With Me. And then for a matte option, I brought out the Maybelline Color Tattoo Leather Collection in Vintage Plum. So gives me a couple of options because this amethyst color has some gold undertones. Then a complete matte. These are very silvery toned purples, but I wanted to get through the Benefit first because it is older. And then I have my MAC Black Track Fluid line that I love to line my upper lash line with every day. Holy Grail status for this one. So that is it for the drawer. All right, and lastly, I wanted to show you my Z palette that I put together that I also work out of every single day. So then you can see other shadows that I am panning along with my Lorac Pro palette. This is the lavender colored Z palette. I found mine on Amazon. I absolutely love this, and I love that it's a bright, springy, purpley color. And again, perfect since I'm panning deep purple. So I'll just very quickly take you through what I'm panning in here along with my Pro palette. The first one, just like I talked about this NYX Shadow in Harlequin, if you want a high-end version, I've also pulled out Urban Decay's. I believe this is Asphyxia. I tried looking for it at Ulta to get the exact color name because I no longer have the shadow name on the back, but I did purchase it as a single. Literally, they look a little bit different in the pans, but swatched on the skin, they come off with the very similar payoff on my skin tone. So I love, this has been my favorite go-to to layer on top of deep purple as a lid shade to give me a very bluish tone purple, and then I go back with deep purple in my crease. I'll do a Get Ready With Me to show you, but just so you can shop your stash, gives you a drugstore option. I also wanted to completely finish my NARS blush in Sin, so I've got just the tiniest, thinnest layer on the bottom. I did repress it to make it easier, so trying to move this sucker out. And then I pulled out, this is the matte pink shade from the Too Faced Romantic Eyes palette if you want a nice backup to light pink from your Lorac Pro palette as you finish it. So that way you can start multitasking other palettes in your collection. And then if you run out of the blue in your Pro 2 palette, this is Evidence from Urban Decay. I happen to pull this out of my 15th anniversary palette. Very similar payoff on the skin, even though the Urban Decay is much more shimmery. So, and then when I run out of taupe, I wanted to go on and finish Stila's Desert right here so I can move out another shadow. This is a Too Faced taupe shade from the Matte Eyes palette that I wanted to finish off on my brows. It's just a cool tone brown if I don't like the way that next shadow performs for me. And then I brought out NARS Gaiety because I was trying to figure out ways to recreate my Holy Grail look, which is this lavender shade called Cut the Cake from Too Faced. This happened to come out of the Bonbons palette. And then like a matte purple. I tried to do deep purple. This is Kiss the Bride from the Too Faced Romantic Eyes palette, I believe. Something, it was wedding themed. But I love NARS Gaiety with that. But like I said, I've been trying to pan NARS since, so I haven't really gone back to Gaiety in a while. So, all right, that's about it. Thank you so much for taking the time to watch this. Gives you a little bit of a sneak peek into my collection. And, you know, maybe perhaps again, you'll find some ideas to inspire you to pull some things out of yours. So, like I said, it's just, I'm all about sharing good information and sharing ideas and passing tips along to help us get through our makeup collections and make the most of these products so that we love them, enjoy them, and have fun with them. So I hope you have a fabulous weekend. Be on the lookout. I have more videos coming your way. If you aren't already, feel free to follow me on Instagram. I go by Beauty Mama. It's BeautyMama, as well as Twitter. So that's it for now, and I look forward to seeing you very, very soon. Bye.